I learned that, honey, I was healing and crying all in the same time some days. I'm like, oh yeah, it hurt. Absolutely, it hurt. But I decided that I wanted to heal. So I could be sitting there crying and doing my personal development and be smiling by, 20 minutes later. Yeah, this is what I'm grateful for today. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Woo, y'all. Now, this video is a requested video. I've had the pleasure and the honor to be very close friends with women who are married to men that are in polygyny, or they were in polygyny, or they understand polygyny, supported polygyny. I just have a multitude of different women in my life that are very understanding, curious. They give so much beneficial knowledge. They want to know so much. They want to learn. They want to help others that may be friends of theirs that are entering polygyny, or they're just trying to navigate it. So they ask me questions and they request videos, and this is a good one. This one is titled, Why Giving Up Your Nights Can Be Very Toxic or Damaging, I should say. But there's some toxicity sometimes in it. Now, if you've come to an agreement, I get it. We get it. If it's best, understand. Sometimes the brothers understand. Sometimes they go, okay, fine. We've warred about it forever and we shouldn't anymore. Sometimes there's illness. Sometimes there's babies being born and you go, okay, stay with the sister extra time and then the brother can make it up later. I get that too. There's a reason why, I had to learn in my journey through polygyny, or especially just navigating polygyny and understanding and making so many du'as and talking to so many people and learning and going through personal development. And that has not stopped. That will not stop. Not for me, not for the OPR team. We're very invested in personal wellness and doing our own work. I'm going to say it often. I don't get tired of saying it because I remember when there was a time where it was rough, and we all have talked about that. And so I like to understand other people's perspectives. I like to learn more. And I learned that you cannot make an emotional knee-jerk decision on a long-term lifestyle change. So if you're mad, you're upset. I get that too. I've been there myself. But to throw out there, well, then I'm just giving up my nights. Those are things that have to be agreed upon or should be agreed upon. Remember, you're grown. You do what you want to do. But we talk about best practices here for best results. One of the major issues, one of the topics or traumatic concerns that cause trauma is when some women give up their night because they're mad and they don't want to see their husband. I would like to pose a question. How does that make your children feel if you have children? If you're pregnant or carrying a child, what happens to your body? What happens? Your child, it gets to a certain point where they can recognize their father's voice, even in the womb. And I've learned that just knowing that their father's there just seeing him every day, if that's something that can happen. Now, some brothers have wives overseas. Some wives are, let's say you're in the state of California. She's huge, right? So one might be in northern, one might be in southern. So they might not see every day or have the ability geographically to see their father every day and understand it. But we have technology. And that's what one of the things I love about technology, FaceTime, Zoom, different platforms support children and people connecting through their technology. Now, but those of you or those of us that have the blessing of living in close proximity, the same city as our husband and our co-wife, for our children, it means so much that they see their father as often as they possibly can, because if you don't want to see them every day, they do. Now, I don't know what their relationship is like with their father. Inshallah, it is healthy, God willing, it is healthy. And if it isn't yet, it doesn't mean it's destroyed completely. There's some healing that might need to happen, especially if you have older children and you have younger children. The older children can figure out a little bit more than the younger children. Now, younger children are resilient, but that does not mean that they can just help themselves heal and they'll be fine and they'll grow up to be this adult that's just well-rounded. It doesn't mean that. It means that temporarily they can kind of go, okay, they argue, let me go over here and play with my blocks. It doesn't mean there's not something that's traumatized them within that, within that toxicity, within that just disagreement. Kids tend to get scared when people yell. People get scared. Grown people get scared when you just scream out. They're like, what is going on? It throws them off. So you can imagine what it does to our children when they hear us argue, or if they see us, or if they feel the energy that is negative. I'm a feeler. I can feel everybody's energy. And oftentimes I can sit with someone for about, 2-3 minutes and figure out if I really want to be around that person or not. I think a lot of women have that. Anyway, but you have to think about that emotion and being upset and being angry and being hurt or feeling betrayed, whatever the case may be, being happy. Your kids know when you're happy. They feel when you're happy. They feel when their father's happy. But to just the optics of seeing their father as much as they possibly can means a lot. That doesn't mean you and the father are good. That doesn't mean you haven't worked out everything. That might not even mean you sleep in the same bed. He might show up, when the kids are asleep at night, they might not know he's gone. And then he shows up in the morning, and that might be a fake or a facade or whatever, but it helps them get through polygyny as well. It helps them navigate things. Of course, we want things to happen in the healthiest way possible. We don't want toxic relationships. We don't want our children to see us, going through it or warring with one another. Absolutely not. I don't believe, and if you do, maybe you need some help. I don't believe people get married and go, okay, I want to get married. I'm in love and I want this marriage to fail. I did not do that. Coach Nazir did not do that. We didn't, get married and go, in about 15 years, you start practicing polygyny and we'll tag team on that thing and let's just destroy the marriage. Let's just do that. Let's do it together. We didn't do that. I joke, but I'm dead serious. I'm serious as a heart attack. We have to think about more than what is just merely happening to us. Although it's difficult, although it's not easy, although we cry, although we hurting. I learned that, honey, I was healing and crying all in the same time some days. I'm like, oh yeah, it hurt. Absolutely it hurt. But I decided that I wanted to heal. So I could be sitting there crying and doing my personal development and be smiling by, 20 minutes later. Yeah, this is what I'm grateful for today. Because at some point you let it out and you go, oh, what? You just cry. And the men cry and the children cry and the co-wives cry and the bonus babies cry. Everybody has to let it out. Multiple times you do. We're people. We're people. So it's about being human beings and allowing ourselves to feel, but not sit in it, dwell in it, wallow in it, and not move forward. We have to get to a point where we go, okay, I know these things happen. We need to have a hard conversation, but I want to move forward. I want to heal. And that means getting out of your own way to do so. I don't want to come in and train, but I'm very serious about the giving up of nights. Just think about the pros and the cons of it. And when I went through my thing and I started thinking about the pros and the cons, I was like, my babies, no, they need to see their dad, period, because they've been seeing their dad. And that matters to me. Their mental health and wellness matters to me. Did I do everything right? I'll be the first one to tell you no. Because I'm comfortable where I am in my life. I'm comfortable with my truth. I don't care how beautiful it is. I don't care how ugly it is. I'm comfortable with it. And part of that means telling the ugly truth and the beautiful truth. Just because I don't want to see you right now doesn't mean they don't. They want their hug. They want their dad. They want their love. They want their raising that they got this entire time before polygyny. And I wasn't willing to rob them of it. I didn't want to rob them of that. And then you don't know when you're going to want a hug from your husband. Be just as mad and go, you know what, I need a hug. A friend of mine, I'm so ridiculous. I had a friend of mine, and if you didn't know, if you can't look at this outfit and know that, I don't know what to tell you, but my daughter brought my kimar and I'm going to wear it. Now, back on me. I remember this one time. This is funny. I don't even know if Coach Nazir remembers this. He ain't going to do nothing but laugh at me anyway, like he always does, because he'll remember it. And I was just going through it one day, and a friend of mine, I've talked about her before. She knows who she is. And we were, I think we were texting or leaving voice. I don't know. It was something. And I was like, I was mad at him. He knows that. Everybody knew that. Because see, when I get mad, I don't necessarily talk. I don't talk, which sometimes I think is much worse. I just went, Fatimah 2.0 in a different direction than I am now. So I text her, I believe it was a text. And I was like, I'm so mad at him, but I just want to hug him. She texts me back and she goes, Fatimah, he's still your husband. If you want a hug, go get a damn hug from your husband. And I was just like, but you see, I was mad, but I'm like, I need him to hug me. And I didn't know that feeling was going to come over me. And he gave me a hug. He gave me a hug. But I was the one taking that right away from me. He never took it away from me. See how I did that? Telling the truth feels so good and freeing. It just does, because lies will hold you hostage so quick. But you got to be careful that you're not the liar. See, that's how that works. You got to be careful you're not doing it to you, because some of the most mental violence I've ever experienced was at my own hands. So then I decided not to, sign up for that class anymore. So I just wanted to really just bring this topic to light and talk about how you may go in and out of your feelings, and you want to see your husband, although you might not this second, and you want his company. Sometimes just knowing he's in your home makes you feel safe. Now, some people might feel unsafe with their husband in their home. But ask yourself, is that because of you, or is it because of him? Or is it because of both of you? Your children want to see their father. If you have children, even if you're carrying a child, every child I've ever carried recognized their father's voice and turned their little head and knew who he was, because he's talked to them the entire time. He spoke to them the entire time. That matters. And just because somebody else wants you to give up your nights, they're not living in your marriage. They're not a part of your marriage. You got to be careful who you keep around you. See, the people I kept around me wanted me and Coach Nazir to win. They wanted us to win in polygyny. They wanted him to be able to do the best job he could possibly do because they believed in him, and they still do. Those people still believe in him. They was mad at him now, but they believed in his ability. They're going, okay, he's seen everything through. He'll see this through, but I'm mad at him now. I feel away. You get what I'm saying? Because they fell in love with our love story. So that's important. Be careful who you keep in your circle. I love circular things. I love circles. They're soft and they're strong at the same time. And all circles just remind me of a hug. It reminds me of being complete. That's what I love about circular things. So make sure that circle is protected. Make sure you protect what you are saying to yourself about yourself. Make sure you protect what you're saying about your spouse to yourself. You don't have to like them all the time. You might not. Might be upset. They might not like you all the time. That goes both ways, you know? So I just wanted to talk about that very briefly. I might speak about it again. Not so sure. You guys let me know in the comments if you want to hear more. I'll be willing to do so. Once again, I am Coach Fatimah for clarity. I'm the initial wife here at Outstanding Personal Relationships. If you guys are not following us on our social medias, why not? Please follow us on Outstanding Relationships on IG. I always mix it up. Not always, but sometimes I get fuzzy, you know. And make sure you're following us on YouTube and Facebook at Outstanding Personal Relationships. Gonna leave you guys with a little GLC. I hope you guys got some good gems from this video. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Well wishes, du'as. We make du'a for you all as well. We want you guys to win as well. I'm leaving you with a little GLC. Make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Here are 3 ways Outstanding Personal Relationships can help you.
One is by following us on our social medias. Follow us on IG at Outstanding Relationships and on Facebook and YouTube at Outstanding Personal Relationships. And make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Number 2, make sure you head over to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com and subscribe to the email list. From there, you will get downloads as well as updates, any and all updates. And you also get an update on the release of our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny, Uncensored.
Number 3, if you are serious about polygyny relationships and really developing fulfillment and happiness, make sure you register for our Relationship Mastery Inner Circle, which is members only, which includes downloads. It includes access to us live on a weekly basis. So that's at outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/RM. We'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.